That's right. It's time for another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. And guess who actually showed up this week, Toss? We have Deckard with us. How you doing, Deckard?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. You guys are so funny. I'm doing quite well. How about yourself?
Doing well. What's up, Toss?
Spatry, I have a question. Who's Deckard Cain? No, just kidding.
Jeez.
That's payback for the last month or so, the total BS. I remember. What's up?
See, this is what happens when you miss important staff meetings and that sort of thing. Well, it looks like Microsoft really does love Linux, according to the Microsoft openness.microsoft.com. Join the Microsoft Openness team to celebrate Debian 8 at Linux Fest Northwest. Saturday, April 25th, the Debian project will release Debian 8. Well, they've already released Debian 8, yes, and I will be having a look at that on my show very, very soon. And in celebration of this milestone, we are having a birthday party, including cake, with the Linux Fest Northwest participants, hosted by Jose Miguel Paella, a Debian developer and member of Microsoft's open source strategy team. So apparently, Toss, somebody from Debian is actually working with Microsoft. Now, I don't know. What do you think about this, Toss? Do you think Linux and Microsoft would make good bedfellows there?
Just to make you happy, NSA, everybody loves the NSA. There, you happy?
Believe it or not, I don't even have any NSA news this week. I forgot to look for some.
What?
I'm telling you, I am not on the ball this week, that's for sure. What you got? What do you think about that, Deckard?
Well, you know, I guess cake makes up for all of the years of abuse that Microsoft has jammed down our throats. I don't know. This whole celebrating Linux thing, yeah, okay, cool PR campaign you got going on there, but let's not forget who Microsoft really is. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Cool enough indeed. What you got, Deckard?
Let me see here. The Department of Defense's new transparent policy, cybersecurity, is still quite opaque. This sounded a lot like a prelude to discussing the government's offensive operations. Was Carter going to finally admit the U.S. role in Stuxnet, the sophisticated digital weapon that the United States reportedly developed with Israel to sabotage centrifuges used in Iran's uranium enrichment program? Was he going to talk about the government's purchase and use of zero-day exploits to attack adversaries, or the fact it was using zero days long before it had a policy about how or if they should be used? Or maybe he'd address the controversy over Flame, an espionage tool reportedly created by the US and Israel that used a digital certificate from Microsoft to trick targeted computers into thinking it was legitimate software from the software giant, thereby undermining the customer trust in Microsoft's security update program. So it looks like the Department of Defense has come out, and they were going to talk about a lot of these topics, and interestingly enough, talked about none of them. So it looks like the Department of Defense is going to continue with their great efforts at moving warfare to the cyber side of things.
Now, for somebody that's not educated, I always attributed the term zero day with illegal or pirated software. What does 0 day really mean? Does that mean that it comes out it's here one day and then gone the next, or what is that?
It's a form of exploit. It's really hard to say exactly what it is because so many people use it in so many different terms. But the way that I understand it is a 0 day exploit is like the worst of the worst exploits. They're the ones that nobody really talks about, and as soon as it's out there, you're kind of screwed.
Okay, yeah. All right, cool enough indeed. What you got, Toss?
Well, this past week, the Ubuntu Zoo left all the usual animals out. The Ubuntu animals, Lubuntu, the 15.04, they have all been released. I'm using, of course, Ubuntu Mate 15.04. I think it's the best distro this year so far. So if you guys are interested, definitely check out Ubuntu Mate or the other ones. Keep in mind, it's only for 9 months.
All right, and speaking about Ubuntu, and actually this is a news report that JV translated and posted at cupoflinux.com. Ubuntu is to introduce yet another package format.
Yay!
Yes, you heard right. And it's as if we don't have enough already, such as deb, RPM, if you know you're using tarxz, if you're using Pacman and that sort of thing. This has to do with their tablet/phone OS, which uses a package format called Snappy. This allows people to easily roll back in case you mess up your machine. But, you know, isn't that what snapshots are supposed to do? Well, at any rate, this came from Pro Linux, which is a German website. Snappy works similar to what distributions like CoreOS and Project Atomic do. The so-called transitional updates allow a user to simply reset their machine to a previous state by rebooting. There'll probably be an option in Grub, and this is done by two parallel read-only file systems. Okay, sounds interesting, and I'm sure this is something a number of people would really enjoy having on their systems, so go for it. Good stuff indeed. What you got, Deckard?
Well, since you don't have any news from the NSA, I've decided to conjure up some more about the United States.
Actually, I did find something while we were talking. While we were just talking, and I've got the most ridiculous NSA story ever. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Deckard.
So before I go ahead with this article, I just want to keep in mind here, or make people keep in mind that this isn't necessarily just the United States. More than likely, this is the entire world, but this is specifically about the United States Navy. So the U.S. Fleet Cyber Command, part of the U.S. 10th Fleet, is developing a strategy for modernizing its cyber operations and transforming the Navy's network into a cyber warfare platform. The C4ISR networks reported earlier this month. The strategy will seek to advance 5 key goals: operating the Navy network as a warfighting platform, conducting tailored signals intelligence, conducting offensive operations in cyberspace, expanding cyber situational awareness, and launching Navy cyber forces, especially teams of experts who will conduct cyber warfare. The Navy currently has 40 teams under development. I find it very interesting that at the dawn of the internet, it was something designed for essentially warfare. And it seems more and more that we're going back that way, that everything seems to be digitizing. All the warfare is becoming digital, and we're doing more cyber attacks against countries. I just wanted to hear your 2 cents on that there, Toss.
You know, I think we should have a candy bar named Cyber Sweet or something, because everything has gone cyber nowadays. I mean, how are we supposed to run our lives if everything is a cyber attack here, cyber attack there? It's gotten to the point where I have almost become desensitized to all of this cyber stuff, because in the end, what can you really do?
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, I think it's really fascinating, to be completely honest with you. It seems as though government agencies are taking over what business used to rule, and that's all the .coms and basically the internet at large. And we're seeing a lot more projects like Tor come about, or I2P, not necessarily for anonymity, but more or less a way for civilians to communicate. So it seems like the baseline internet is getting militarized. What do you think, Spat?
NSA, everybody loves the NSA. I really don't know what to think of all of this, you know. Really, at the end of the day, you know, you got to do the research, protect yourself the best way you possibly can. You know, and I realize there's nothing completely foolproof out there. You got all these agencies being, you know, spied upon and that sort of thing. And as soon as a new protection comes out, you know, there's something that comes out to counteract it. It's going to be a constant cat and mouse chase. We're going to be hearing, you know, we're going to be hearing about this until the sun expands and blows up the planet.
I have a solution. Don't go online, period.
That's the best way, and keep all of your documents safely locked somewhere.
Yep.
Like hiding money in the mattress or something, you know? What you got, Toss?
Well, I guess the iWatch went on sale here. What was it? Friday?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Well, that's our show, folks. We'll catch you next.
You know, it's funny because before you go on your story, it's funny because I've still got people voting on who wants a smartwatch. And would you believe that still to this day, not one person has voted yes on that poll, and the poll's still open.
Well, I had that poll, and it went from 100% no to towards the end, it was like, I think it was 40-some% maybe. So, and I got a feeling it wasn't for the $17,000 watch, probably for the $350 watch. But still, do you want an iWatch, a watch where the battery life is less than 24 hours? I just don't get it.
Not unless it comes with them special add-ons and that sort of thing, you know, that you, never mind. I shouldn't go there. This is a G-rated show, kids.
Yes, it's rated G for garbage, but no.
Absolutely. Well, along that same vein, since we're talking about smartwatches, let's move that back over to phones. Apparently, according to Yahoo's tech site, it states that 1 in 5 Android apps is malware. 1 in 5. Bad news, Fandroids, Android malware is on the rise. According to Symantec's latest Internet Security Threat Report, 17% of all Android apps, nearly 1 million total, were actually malware in disguise. In 2013, Symantec uncovered roughly 700,000 virus-laden apps. Kids, let me tell you something. Where Android is concerned, I do not download free applications. Unless you've got some kind of ad blocking suite, and there is ad blocking, but you have to side load it into your device because you can't get it from the Android store anymore. So your best bet is if you do download a free application, make sure you've got some kind of ad blocker on your device, because those push notifications and things are just downright terrible, and it's in most applications out there. You're better off reading the reviews and just paying the $1 or $2 or $3 for the best applications on Android, and then you don't have all of these malwares and ads and all this other crap. You know, I found that was the smartest thing, and I have to say that 99% of the applications running on my Android are all bought and paid for, even though I'm running CyanogenMod. You know, it's worth it to pay for quality software. At least that's how I see it, unless somebody else has a different view on the board here.
Well, you know, the way I see it is I always check for license. If it's a free and open source program, I'm okay with it. If it's closed source, I look at the reviews. If the reviews say it's okay, then I'm still pretty skeptical about getting it. And oftentimes I'll run it through an antivirus and anti-malware scanner anyways, just to see. It seems far too often that people just click okay, next, yeah, install. Let's just get this over with.
And the thing is, there is a lot of free and open source software available on Android. What say you, Toss?
I do absolutely no banking on my smartphone, and I feel somewhat safe.
Good way to put it. What you got, Deckard?
This is a little bit of computer news and a little bit of nonsense. Lucas Hinch, 37, was given a violation for discharging a weapon inside city limits. Police said in a report titled, "Man Kills His Computer." I guess Lucas got a little bit too mad at his machine and decided to hit it with a 9mm pistol 8 times. The Dell old desktop machine apparently was riddled with some viruses which he could not remove. He's told the police he thought it was okay because it's an open carry state. That's the sort of thing that we hear about Americans shooting their computers.
Yeah, it was a Dell computer. He had a 9mm gun, and he gave his Dell 8 slugs because it had the BS. So the blue screen. Oh, I get it, Spatry. I get it. Right, the blue screen of Right. It's slugs. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Toss.
Spoil it. Thank you.
Couldn't resist.
Well, are we all ready for nonsense?
Hold on a moment here. If we're going to move into the nonsense report, then I need to make an adjustment here. Deckard, pick a number between 1 and 9.
Number 6.
Number 6. All right, tonight, kids, we are going to be giving away a free copy of, now I forgot what the name of the game is.
Mass Effect.
Yes, I'm giving away a copy of Mass Effect 2. Thank you. And the winner of tonight's game goes to, drum roll, please. Siva, you are the winner. You were number 6 on the list, and you are the winner of that game. I forgot. Again,
This will be the 4th time you've forgotten.
Spatry have massive brain loss.
Apparently. Absolutely. All right, Toss, what you got for nonsense?
Have you guys ever seen these useless websites?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I have, it's called theuselessweb.com.
Okay.
And they've got some ridiculous web pages. As a matter of fact, we have a redirect for trolls on our website that will take them to the, what was that? It was the Partridge Guy dancing web page or something like that. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I wrote down 3 of them. Just I was going through these like quite quickly. One was randomcolor.com. It just gives you a color of the page and that's it. Another one was giant bat farts.
Okay.
And then the last one I wrote down, this is kind of clever, www.com.com. You have reached the end of the internet. Shut your computer down and go to bed.
I still think the Partridge Guy dancing is probably one of the most ridiculous ones in that list. But yeah, no problem. And so guess what, Toss? Your favorite topic has come up. NSA, everybody loves the NSA. Guess what, Toss? The NSA has made a coloring book for kids.
What?
Yes, it's called America's Crypto Kids, Future Code Makers and Code Breakers. It's a fun book. And let me tell you what, Toss, I'm looking at some of the images here. Some of these graphics are so detailed, even an adult would have a hard time coloring it, but it's the truth. They do. And this was dated from 9 hours ago. I couldn't believe it when I saw it because we were talking and I was surfing the internet while you guys were reading, and I saw this and I'm like, so last week we met Dunk, the NSA's captivatingly weird Earth Day mascot, and now it looks like he's not the only anthropomorphic creature in the NSA family. Dan Rail at Pando Daily went to the RSA security conference last week and returned with a prize, an NSA-themed coloring book. So
I feel so unsafe right now.
I told you this is the weirdest NSA news ever.
Just relax and color in your book. Everything will be okay. Just color.
Exactly. Just color your book while we spy on you. Absolutely. What you got, Deckard?
Oh, I was hoping Kurt was going to be here, but I guess he'll have to listen to this afterwards. There's a little article here on the Huffington Post about the British election. Apparently, there are a bunch of Brits out there dressing up these pigs as prime ministers and letting them loose in a pig race to see who actually wins. And I guess that's how they're deciding who they're voting for.
Alrighty. Well, hey.
That's funny.
Stranger things have happened, I'm sure. What you got, Toss?
Well, here's something that you just don't see every day. I guess the company Groupon Australia, they have a problem. They are recalling, of all things, counterfeit condoms.
Toss, this is a G-rated show. Now you turned it rated R on me.
That's why I have nothing else to say on that story.
It's funny. Back in the day when I was a bartender, I had this trick where I would stretch one over my head and inflate it with my nose. And I would say, this is for those of you who say your stuff is too big to fit in one of these.
Rated G for garbage. I try to tell you guys, but no.
All right. I was at a loss for finding some good nonsense news. But when was the last time you guys ever read Murphy's Law? The last time I saw this, I was in high school, and Murphy's Law is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, I found a poster today, and I figured I would share some of these with you because some of these are quite funny. Interchangeable parts won't. Nothing is as easy as it looks. Everything takes longer than you think. If anything simply cannot go wrong, it will anyway. Left to themselves, things tend to go from bad to worse. If everything seems to be going well, you have obviously overlooked something. It's impossible to make anything foolproof because fools are so ingenious. There's always one more bug.
Yep.
Anything good in life is either illegal, immoral, or fattening.
That one's my favorite.
Never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
Oh, right.
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. If you try to please everybody, nobody will like it. Friends come and go, but enemies accumulate. The chance of a piece of bread falling with the buttered side down is directly proportionate to the price of the carpet. If it jams, force it. If it breaks, it needed replacing anyway.
This kind of reminds me of an old desk calendar I used to have.
Any tool dropped while repairing a car will roll underneath to the exact center where you cannot reach it.
Yep.
No matter how long or hard you shop for an item, even after you've bought it, it will be on sale somewhere else cheaper. Haven't you seen that happen time and time again?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And you will remember that you forgot to take out the trash when the garbage truck is 2 doors away.
Exactly.
Smile, tomorrow it will be worse. What you got, Toss?
Spatry, this is in Florida, where is Wimauma, Florida? Wimauma.
What? I never even heard of that place.
Okay. Well, the reason why...
That's very important.
Well, here's another thing I just don't read every day. A Florida man is hospitalized after attempting to kiss a venomous snake. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got some weird people in the Everglades that do all kinds of stuff. They stick their heads in alligators' mouths and all kinds of stuff.
I don't know what's going down in Florida there, but you guys might want to check out your drinking water.
No, see, the guy that realized that the snake was a transgender, and it just didn't work out well. But anyway.
Apparently, yeah. I miss Wisconsin.
Cheese.
Yeah, cheese. Got that right. You got anything else, Deckard?
I've got 2 more. This one here is Montreal. A school board south of Montreal is defending a driver who banned students from reading on his bus. So I'm going to let you guys guess as to why he banned students from reading on the bus. Any ideas? He's worried that they'll drop the book, get out of their seat, and pick it up. Yeah, we are that cautious of people getting injured up here that you are no longer allowed to read on a bus. That's how stupid it gets up here.
That's kind of sad.
It's really sad. I didn't know if it was funny or not, but brought it to your light anyway.
All right, some more Murphy's Laws. Whenever you set out to do something, something else must be done first. Every solution breeds new problems. And my favorite, all warranties expire upon payment of invoice. Your turn, Toss.
2 more things. Here's another thing you just don't read every day. This is West Pittston, Pennsylvania, Pitt. I guess this is appropriate. Guys, the FAA is investigating a plane that dumped toilet paper on a neighborhood. This is true. I guess this happened Monday. Residents woke up, Spatry, to another crappy story. So there you go.
Deckard.
All right, this one just blows my mind. Here's the title of it. It's from the Toronto Sun again. Woman's brain tumor turns out to be an embryonic twin. It turns out that this...
I've heard of people actually having those. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say
So
what?
this PhD student, 26-year-old, was having trouble understanding what people was saying to them. They just couldn't comprehend what was going on. So they sought out a specialist who said, "Oh, it looks like it's a tumor." So they used this surgery to try and get the tumor out, and found out that it was an embryonic twin that's been in this person's head since they were born. It had teeth, it had hair, it was starting to grow in arms and legs, and it's been inside their head since they were born 26 years ago.
And yes, I have heard about that. That was like, I heard something about that. It was like 30 years ago or something like that. And apparently that's, that's true. Now, the question is, how big did this thing grow? And, was it really alive? And how was it living? And
That's the story for the X-Files.
Yeah. I was going to see if you guys could pick out whether or not that was stable or horse stable, but yeah, it's certainly true. It turns out that it wasn't living, but it wasn't actually decomposing at the same time, which was very strange.
Yeah, that is odd indeed. Just makes me think of the Twilight Zone. Picture a man with a man in his head. Oh, go ahead.
That's all for me.
Toss?
One last story. This is true. Quick shout out to, I guess, my internet pen pal. He's a national recording artist, Slim Man. If you don't know him, he's been called the male Sade. He's been writing music for the last 20 years. He has a weekly newsletter. He's quite funny. He's a great cook, singer, songwriter, but real brief here. He sent out a newsletter letter. So this goes out to Slim Man. He says, "I had another problem with my Mac computer. The headphone jack broke. He went to the Apple store to get fixed. He was there early." He says, except there was a line outside the door before the place opened. And he says people were waiting in line to try the new iWatch, not to buy it, but to try it. So the story goes, he says that they were waiting in line probably for the 350 model. Anyway, he says, "I'm not a psychic, but I used to go out with one. It's not fun going out with someone who knows what you're thinking all the time, by the way." He says, "Going out to restaurants was fun. I used to let her order for me. I figured she knows what I want." But he says he has a psychic prediction. The iWatch is going to be huge. It was designed by someone, Jonathan Ive. He did an incredible job. The attention to detail. But let me scroll down here to the punchline. He says, these days, you know how many people are possessed by their phones, a dinner, concert. He says, people now are possessed with they will be possessed with their iWatches. He says in New York City, apparently in New York City, the police were alarmed by the sudden rise of traffic accidents involving pedestrians. So they lowered the speed limit down to 25 miles per hour. It didn't help. Do you guys know why?
Why?
Well, it wasn't the motorist's fault. It was the pedestrians. People were staring at their phones, ignoring lights, and walking right out into the busy streets right in front of them. And now he's saying, of course, with the iWatch, now you have another distraction. But apparently, guys, he has a solution. He says, it makes me wonder when it's all going to stop, and maybe think of an app he created a while ago. It never caught on, but here it is. It's called the iQuit. Here's how it works. You take your iPhone, your iMac, your iEver, put them all in the bag, go to the bridge, throw it over and scream, "I quit." That's the joke.
Okay, and on that note, speaking of these smart watches and smart things, just remember a very good Murphy's Law here. Build a system that even a fool can use. and only a fool will use it. That's all we've got for news and nonsense tonight. Thank you, Deckard, and thank you, Toss, for joining us. And, of course, thank you, everybody in the listening room, for being here as well. Join us next week, same time, same channel. We're going to be giving away another great game. You must be present to win, of course, to get in on our weekly drawings. And then, of course, we have a weekly drawing every Saturday night at 8 p.m. during our Cup of Linux game nights, which Deckard wasn't present for last night. Shame on you. That's all right. I know we discussed this earlier, and you've got some things you're going through, and I completely understand. And we always appreciate it when we can have you. So thank you, all of you, once again for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. You'll probably see me sooner, though, because I'm going to have a Debian video going up, and I have some other videos I want to get done this week as well. So, yeah, probably see me a little bit sooner.
The next game is called Memory Loss, right, Spatry?
Yeah, not enough coffee, I guess. I don't know. Got to blame it on something there. All right, thank you, all of you. We'll see you again later. Peace out.
See ya.
Ciao.